Welcome everyone, good afternoon to this afternoon's Your Introduction to RMIT session. My name is Paris and I work in the student recruitment team at RMIT, but I'm actually also a current business student as well, and I'll tell you a little bit about that throughout the presentation. I've also got Daniel and Kate behind the scenes today. And I've also got Christine, Nathaniel and Christy on chat to answer all your questions throughout the presentation. But excitingly, we also do have two current students, Pamela, who is studying a Bachelor of Business Marketing Applied, and we also have Samuel, who is studying Bachelor of Engineering Electronics. So they'll be able to come on board later on in the presentation and tell you a little bit about their student experience. But we will kick off. But before we do, I would firstly just like to say a Womanjeka welcome to all of you from wherever you are watching today. And we would like to respectfully recognise our elders past, present and emerging, and respectfully acknowledge the lands in which RMIT University stands. So I hope you've all got a cup of tea ready. Hope you're all sitting on the couch somewhere comfy and ready for our presentation. So why do students choose RMIT to study? So I guess if you're looking at other institutions, these are probably the things that differentiate RMIT. So first of all, we are a dual sector institution. So this means that we do offer both university courses and also TAFE courses. We are really globally recognised and connected as well. So we have our 3 campuses here in Melbourne, as well as our 2 flight training sites in Victoria. And we also have 2 campuses in Vietnam and a research study centre in Barcelona, Spain, which is really awesome as well. But we are really industry connected. So we have a heap of teachers at RMIT, which are actually still out in the field teaching, still working, sorry, so that when they come back in and teach our students, it means that they get that really focused, career ready experience and information that they're learning in the classrooms, which is really, really great. So as I mentioned, we have our 3 Melbourne campuses and also our 2 flight training sites in Bendigo and Point Cook. So we have our city campus, our Brunswick campus and our Bandura campus in Melbourne. And basically it's really going to depend on what you're studying is going to depend on where you're going to go and study it. So just be aware that if you are looking at a course, the location might not suit you, or you might want to study at a different one. So definitely jump online and have a look at what courses are offered at certain campuses. So we have our Melbourne City campus here right now, which is our largest RMIT campus. And this houses the majority of our courses at RMIT. So your business, your engineering, architecture, communications, those courses are taught predominantly at our Melbourne campus, at our Melbourne City campus, sorry. And I guess unlike other institutions, this is quite a cool campus. It's really interlaced throughout the whole city. If you have been into Melbourne Central, which I'm sure a lot of you watching would have, it is really all throughout the city. You can go to really cool cafes and restaurants and bars and that kind of thing during breaks when you're studying at the Melbourne City campus. And it's just a really cool area, really colourful, really quirky kind of shaped classrooms, as you can see on the screen right now. And just, yeah, really awesome different facilities available at our city campus. But I would definitely have to say that as a current student, my favourite part of this campus is actually the fact that we have a snooze lounge. So in our business building, we have a full dedicated snooze lounge with beanbags and cushions and all that fun stuff. So you can actually pop on over and have a snooze in between classes, which is awesome. So next up is our Bandura campus. This is sort of probably what you would think of when a lot of people do think of traditional university institutions, but this houses majority of our health, medical science and also teaching programs. And it is like a really nice, scenic, pretty with wildlife and all that nice stuff out there, really peaceful. And it does have all of our sporting facilities out there. So if you're interested in footy or soccer, or netball or any of that. We have that all out there. We actually have a FIFA approved soccer pitch out there as well, which is really cool. So lots of facilities out there if you are a sporting person. And we also have our health science teaching clinics out there as well. So if you are doing nursing or something like that, or interested in nursing, just know that you will have a full, there's actually a full new nursing area at our Bandura campus, and it really mimics what a hospital will look and feel like. So our students get that, that realistic exposure really early on in their course, which is really, really great. We also actually have on-campus accommodation out at Bandura as well. So our last Melbourne campus is our Brunswick campus. So this is home to our fashion and textile programs and also industrial design. And this campus, I guess, is again quite different. It's quite a small, quirky campus amongst the really fun, eclectic suburb of Brunswick. Again, really cool cafes and shops and restaurants and that kind of thing. Definitely really niche suburb in Melbourne. But yeah, it's really, really creative space, and students are really able to suit their creative needs at this campus. So students, if they need to wheel in and out furniture or put up walls and pull down walls to suit whatever they're doing creatively, they are able to do that, which is really, really awesome. And it is just a short 5Ks from our CBD if you are interested in being close by. So I also mentioned we have our Vietnam campuses overseas. So we have one in Hanoi and one in Ho Chi Minh. And I guess this is an opportunity for you to really immerse yourself in a new culture, new people, new place. And it's an actual RMIT campus. So unlike other, you might go on exchange overseas to other partners, but this is an actual RMIT campus. So it's all taught in English as well, so no need to do a crash course in Vietnamese or anything like that. But it's a really great experience for students that are chasing a bit of a global experience as part of their course. And some of the things you might be able to study there would be business and merchandising, some engineering, some IT programs, some communications, and also digital media as well. But if Vietnam isn't for you, that's totally fine. As I mentioned, we have over 200 partner institutions in 49 countries, so heaps of opportunity for you to go overseas somewhere that you're interested in. And as part of this, we have two options for you. So you can either go on a study exchange, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard of before. So you go overseas for 6 months to a year, and then you are able to complete equivalent subjects and then get credits for that back here for your degree, which is really great. But if you do get a little bit homesick, we also have study tours available. So they can go from anywhere between 2 weeks and 4 weeks. So I actually had a friend that did a study tour and went to Taiwan for I think around 3 weeks, and she got to do really fun stuff. So Tai Chi classes, traditional tea drinking ceremonies, and got to go to other cities like Taipei and surrounding places on the weekends and that kind of thing. And all she had to do at the end of it was write an essay on how her experience was and all the cultural experience she got. So really awesome opportunities there for you to go overseas and incorporate that into your studies. So experience work. So this is one of the really awesome things about RMIT is that we, a lot of our courses produce really work-ready graduates. So for myself, as an example, I'm currently studying a Bachelor of Business Marketing Applied. And so this is a 4-year degree, and in the 3rd year, I'm required to go out and complete a year-long paid placement. And then at the end of that, I'll go back into my final year of uni next year and then hopefully graduate from there. So basically, it means that you just get that really current information. It means that you kind of get to put your first 2 years of your course into practice and really see how it's actually going to translate into the real world. So really, really great opportunities there available for you. And also, as I've gotten a position in the student recruitment team for the year, it's really great to be able to work alongside them and pick up a lot of new skills that I wouldn't have otherwise gained. So really, really great experience there. I've also got friends doing it at Renault Cars. I've got another one doing it at the Channel 9 with the Block. So great opportunities available. If you are doing something in clinical that will require clinical practice, so if you're doing osteo or health or nursing or something like that, then you would be required to do clinical practice. So you might be able to work at our partner clinics, and then members of the public can actually come in and see you, and they'll get a subsidised rate for that visit, and you get to work on an actual patient, which is really, really great. We also have industry projects. So a lot of the time we have partner organisations that are able to, will come in with an idea and let RMIT students work on it, work on a project or something like that. So I know as a business student, we often work with Grand Prix and get to kind of play with different ideas and stuff like that. So really, really great opportunities. And that is, again, just throughout your studies. It's not a built-in work experience component or anything like that. It's just opportunities that come up throughout your course, which is really great. And you can also do internships and that kind of thing overseas if you want to get the global experience that way as well. So we have our areas of study up here on the screen, and I guess these are sort of just our umbrella terms for a lot of our programs. So within these, there'll be a whole heap of programs that fall under these headings. So for example, if you are like me and you're looking at studying business or marketing and you're thinking, I really just want to do marketing, but it's not there, where is it? It'll just fall under business. Same, again, under business, besides marketing, there is a whole heap of other ones. So you could do entrepreneurship, you could do IT, you could do business accounting. There's so many different types, but looking at this, you obviously wouldn't know that. So definitely check out this. It's also in our open day platform, so you'll be able to browse by these categories. And similarly, again, if you're looking at this and thinking engineering, I want to do engineering, but I want to do mechanical, they will just fall under that. So definitely check these out to make sure you are familiar with the programs. So we'll talk a little bit about prerequisites and selection requirements. So prerequisites are basically subjects that you need to be able to gain access into a particular course. So for a lot of our engineering and science courses, you might be required to complete either maths methods, physics, chemistry, or biology. It depends course by course, so definitely, again, jump online or head on over to the Open Day platform to see what prerequisites you might need. Definitely important to be aware of that before application time rolls around. But similarly to engineering and science, our creative subjects also may have selection requirements, but different types. So you might be required to, as part of your application, submit a pre-selection kit, a folio, do an interview, or submit a design exercise. Again, this really differs course by course, program by program. So definitely jump online to make sure you're aware of what you need to submit as part of your application. So at the end of the day, it's really going to be about what's right for you. Of course, you'll have support from family and friends and that kind of thing, but it's really up to what you want to do, because it's going to be really hard to motivate yourself if you're not interested and happy with what you're doing. So as I mentioned, that we are a dual sector institution, we offer both higher ed and TAFE. So talk about higher education first. So if you are looking online and seeing the terms bachelor and undergraduate degree and getting confused, don't let that confuse you. It just means the exact same thing. And something that really confused me when I was looking to apply to unis. So that's just the exact same thing. Higher ed also includes double degrees and also our associate degrees. And I guess the structure of higher education is a little bit different from school. So you'll have, as part of this, you'll have lectures, tutorials, labs, or studios, depending on the program that you're completing. But you'll have often lectures where you have a few hundred other people in the room with you. You'll have a lecturer standing at the front and they'll be delivering content, and it's up to you to write notes and take in the content and that kind of thing. And then as part of that, you'll have tutorials or either labs or studios, again, depending. And this will be an opportunity where you can sit down in a sort of more classroom setting for what you're used to at school. And you can discuss examples with your teacher and ask your peers stuff and that kind of thing. But these are quite large classes, and it's very specialised and quite independent as well. So maybe some of you out there watching at the moment are thinking, oh, in school, when I get in, when I don't submit something on time or I'm late for school, I get in a bit of trouble for it, or I get chased up for my work. When you're in uni, it is quite different and it is quite independent. So it's up to you to really be on top of things. Of course, there's a heap of support available for you if you're struggling with studies or need help with something. Of course, there's support, but overall, it is really up to you to motivate yourself for your studies. But these can go from anywhere between 2 to 5 years. So we also have TAFE courses, as I mentioned. So we offer certs 1 to 4. We also offer diplomas and advanced diplomas. And I guess this is just a bit of a different structure to higher education. So this TAFE courses are mostly completed in seminar, labs, workshops and studio settings. And I guess this is a little bit more probably more school-like. So you sort of move from class to class with the same sort of people, and you complete most of your work on campus or during the week, Monday to Friday, kind of maybe 9 to 3 or 9 to 5, Monday to Thursday or something like that. And it's just a bit more of a supported environment, but very hands-on. So you'll do majority of your work that you need to get done while on campus or while at class and that kind of thing. So you don't have to do as much outside like higher education. So these can go up for anywhere up to 2 years as well. So we also have apprenticeships and pre-apprenticeships as well. And we offer those in Cert 2 and 3. And this is really on the job paid work. So if you're wanting to be an electrician or a sparky or a plumber or something like that, this might be a good option for you. But it is quite small classes, very hands-on. Of course, with anything, you'll be required to know some theory, but majority of that is going to be very on-the-job, hands-on kind of learning. And you might be doing this for 3 months to 4 years. So we'll talk a little bit about pathways now. So this is, I guess, a typical structure of what a lot of people think of when they think of university. And this is the path I went down, for example. So you might come out of year 12, the student's doing the Bachelor of Engineering, for example. So you come into year 1, you do year 2, year 3, year 4, and then straight out of your career. No worries, happy days. But things don't always go to plan, as we know, so you may not get the right ATAR that you were hoping for, or you might not meet the prerequisites that you needed for a particular course. So we have options for you for that, so don't stress at all. So you could either do an advanced diploma, example engineering, and you could come in after the first year, go year 2, year 3, year 4, and then straight out into your career. Or you could do an associate degree and come in year 3 and complete year 4 and straight out into your career again. So as you can see here, these students that pathway in really don't miss out on any time at all. So you just go straight in and you actually come out with the 2 qualifications as well, which is really, really valuable as well. But you may not want to bother with an undergraduate degree, which is totally fine as well. These courses are all designed to be career ready, so you can come straight out of an advanced diploma or an associate degree and then go straight into the workforce, which is really awesome. So as much as we are about academics, we love to have a lot of fun at RMIT. Obviously a bit difficult when we can't be on campus, but normally it's very, very lively and fun. We have a heap of sporting and recreational clubs. We even have a cheerleading club, and we have a heap of arts and culture clubs as well. And if there isn't a club, you can actually make one if you've got enough people to participate. So definitely a club for everyone, and also a really, really great way to meet people. So we also have a really diverse student population at RMIT. We're really proud of that. And it really is a great way to prepare students for the real world in both study and in social. As I mentioned, we have a whole range of clubs, and we also really recognise our role and commitment and motivation. So really want to be there to support our students and ensure a diverse population. So as things are a bit up in the air at the moment, we have been working really hard to make sure that our students have access to really great resources so they can still complete their studies at home. So all of our lectures are recorded and you can view it at 12 in the middle of the night, or you can do it at 7 a.m, whichever suits you. And we also have other really great other platforms. We have Collaborate Ultra through our Canvas platform that current students use. So you're able to go into breakout rooms and really interact with your teachers and other students if you need to. And we also have Microsoft Teams, obviously, like we are streaming to you today, which is a really great resource. And also students have access to My Desktop as well. So this is a great resource for students to be able to access certain programs that they would have only been able to access on campus, but through My Desktop are able to access at home, which is really awesome. And of course, we are always surveying our students to see what we can do better and how we can make the online learning experience at home a little bit easier. So we also have a lot of really great and successful people that have passed through RMIT. So I'll just talk about a couple of these. So we have James Wan. So if any of you horror movie fans out there have watched the Saw movies or The Conjuring or Aquaman, James Wan actually was studying screenwriting here at RMIT and actually wrote the script for Saw while studying, and was supposed to be for a short film festival, and of course blew up and is now a really renowned director of movies. So that's really awesome for James Wan. And we also have Jamie Forsyth. So he was an entrepreneur student at RMIT, and him and his wife were really upset by all the wastage of the disposable coffee cups. And so he came up with the Keep Cup idea to have a recyclable, cute little colourful coffee cup that you can take to cafes. And he actually got our RMIT design students on board to help create the prototype for that Keep Cup as well. And now, of course, they're all around in different brands as well. So really great for Jamie Forsyth there. So we also have, as I mentioned, a heap of support available for you at RMIT. So if you are doing any courses and you're finding that you're struggling a little bit, that's totally fine. We are here for you and have a heap of support. So I'll just pick out a couple of these to talk to you about. So we have our SLAM mentors and study help. So this is basically a free tutoring service. And it is by current students who have done really well in a particular subject. So maybe got a high distinction in a certain subject, and they actually come in and help tutor students in their younger years. So you might be paying maybe $80 an hour for a private tutor, but this is a completely free resource available. And I find that sometimes, as a current student myself, sometimes when a peer explains things to you, it can be a bit more easily to understand. So really great service there available. We also have our work and careers. So we have our skills and job shop. So they're a really great team to help you if you need to find a job, or if you need help finding placement for a course, they can help you with that. And they can help you with anything from writing CVs and cover letters to even doing mock interviews with you as well if you do get a little bit nervous before interviews. So really awesome resource there. We also have housing and accommodation. So we have a heap of purpose-built accommodation available for our students around all of our campuses. So definitely hop on our Open Day platform to check out more information about accommodation. But we also have counselling as well. So if you are finding it is a little bit difficult and you're struggling a little bit with the transition from school to uni, for example, there is counselling available for you across all our campuses. So there's always someone to support you and to talk to as well. And we also have our RMIT Activator. So if you are doing entrepreneurship or have a crazy business idea that you want to bring to life, they might be able to help you and get the project off the ground. So really, really great support available at RMIT. So we have our equity categories up here on the board. So if you are an Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander, are mature age, are from a non-English speaking background, have a disability or long-term medical condition, have a disadvantaged financial background, or are from rural areas, have difficult circumstances, have an underrepresented gender, or are from a SNAP school, you may be applicable for these equity categories. So if you are wanting to make an equity application, you can apply through VTAC with a CEASE application, and these have already opened on the 3rd of August and will be closing on Friday, the 9th of October. So definitely, if you are wanting to make a CEASE application, make sure you have those dates written down somewhere so you don't miss out on that. But if you are applying for RMIT Equity Access, you can apply online direct to RMIT. And these again have already opened and will shut on Tuesday, the 11th of December. So definitely check what you need to be prepared for that. But this might help you by giving you some additional consideration. So an example is you might get some bonus aggregate points. So for example, if our Bachelor of Business applied is an 80, for example, and you get a 60, you might be applicable to get 20 points boosted on to get into that course, which would be really, really great. And you really will just have to, might have to write an impact statement. So you might just have to sit down with a teacher or your career advisor or your parent or something like that, and they might be able to help you write it, and then you submit it as part of your application. And I'm sure anyone watching that is coming up to application time will have teachers or parents that can help along to submit your application for that. We do also have a wide range of scholarships available, and often a lot of people assume that it's just academics. Scholarships just go to the academic kids and they don't go to anyone else, but we have a heap of scholarships available in different categories at RMIT. So we have equity scholarships, academics, pathways for vocational and higher ed, and also travel grants as well. So we definitely have a wide range. And this might be available for certificate 4 and diploma students, associate and bachelor degree students, postgrad students, research students, students studying overseas, and also international students. So you might even be able to get a scholarship to pay for some of your cost of going overseas and traveling as part of your degree, which would be really great. If you are wanting to apply for any of these scholarships, for VTAC, they've already opened and will shut on the 9th of October. So definitely be aware of what you need to submit for that. And also if you are applying directly, they will shut on the 11th of October. So just really important to jump online and make sure that you know what you need to submit and when you need to submit for these. And if you want to find out more about these scholarships, you'll be able to talk to our scholarship team and browse all the information on our Open Day platform as well. But I think we're now going to hand over to Daniel for some questions to our students.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Paris. And we know that there's a ton of questions coming through on the Q&A. We have a whole team on board to try to answer as many as we can, but I guess keep them coming and we'll try to get to them as quickly as we can. We have Pamela Stanley and Samuel Murari on board to answer some questions. So Pamela, I'm going to start with you. Why did you choose RMIT?
Hello everyone, my name is Pamela. So why did I choose RMIT is because RMIT has a really vibrant student life, a lot of clubs, a lot of societies, a lot of people to meet, And it's really wonderful to be able to not just study and do well in academics, but also to meet people from diverse backgrounds. And there's so much activities, and I think it's really wonderful to be there.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Samuel. What about yourself?
Well, I chose RMIT on one integral aspect, and that being experience in both academic and social life. Academically, the courses that were taught at RMIT are very practical and hands-on, which I found to be the best sort of pathway for me to learn. And socially, the RMIT life was a very good experience, being that I was able to make a lot of new friends, and there's so many areas where I can just talk with people and just hang out in a study environment and in just a general hangout and relaxing environment.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Samuel. What's your favorite thing about your RMIT course?
For me, again, as I touched on before, it would just be the practical aspect of it. For my first year, I've been able to construct electronic circuits, and with that, I can just see in real time how I can test different theories and test different aspects of that circuit. And the labs that we do as well, they're very challenging, but they're also constructed in a way that make it interesting and not just completely impossible.
Wonderful. What about yourself, Pamela? What is your favorite thing about your course? Oh, you're on mute, Pamela. Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. So my favorite thing about RMIT courses is that a lot of them is not just written. So a lot of people just write, study, but it's also a lot of practical projects. We work on real clients, solve real problems, not just some sort of paper problems. And then I think it's really wonderful to be able to know that we are also helping some sort of client or to solve a real problem. So I really like the practical aspect, and it's really, really wonderful.
Awesome. Thank you so much. What do you wish you could go back and tell yourself about applying to university? So if you could go back to your high school self, what do you wish you could let them know?
So for me, I think it would be to consider that a degree is definitely a couple of years. So it's going to commit a couple of years for you and in your life. So I would say the biggest advice is to follow what you want to study, because this is you committing yourself to study this degree. So make sure that it is something that you really like and you really want to do.
Brilliant. Thank you. And what about yourself, Samuel?
What I'd say is that everything will be okay. Choosing a university and degree, it's a very stressful thing. And you never really know what the best path is or the best option. Myself, I actually chose computer and network engineering and computer science, double degree. But after one semester, I decided that the course was not really for me, and I switched to electrical and electronics, and I've never been happier. In switching, I actually didn't lose any time in my degree, and I haven't been behind on any subjects either. And because all the credits got transferred, there's pathways to everything and a solution to everything.
Awesome. Thank you. And what's next for you after you finish your degree, Samuel?
Personally, I actually really enjoy studying and I'm very passionate about it. So I'm thinking of actually doing a postgraduate degree.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. Sounds good.
Yeah.
See you there. And Pamela, what about yourself? What are you hoping to get go into once you finish your degree? What's next for you?
So after my degree, I hope that I can get a graduate role in a marketing position. And because I've been working throughout my degree as well, I think RMIT is wonderful because it helps you to volunteer opportunities and a lot of different things. You can be so active on campus, so it helps you to build your CV, and I think that really helped, and I hope to land a graduate role.
Brilliant, thank you. Pamela, I might stay with you. We've got quite a few questions about contact hours. Can you tell us about some of the, like how often you're on campus and studying as part of your course? Yeah,
so I think in terms of contact hours, you will be able to arrange your own timetable in the way that you'll be given a list of choices of when to go, and you can basically indicate your preference. And in terms of contact hours, I would say I spend about 3 days on campus, 3 to 4 days, depends on how well I can arrange the timetables. Usually it's about 3. And it's a mix of lecture and tutorials and everything. And it worked out really well if you remember to put in your preference in the first place.
Perfect. And Samuel, what about your contact hours?
My contact hours were pretty similar to Pamela's. As she said, you can actually choose your timetable and base your week around what days you want free. I personally kept Fridays free, so 4 days on campus. Together in total, I'd have around 20 hours of 20 contact hours. Of that, that's just made up of practicals, tutorials, and lectures. Lectures as well. If I just couldn't take the time, I just watch the recording at home.
Perfect. Samuel, while I've got you, can you talk about some of the industry experiences as part of your course or projects that you've been a part of?
Yep. So our RMIT has a lot of industry experience and courses available. For me, in my second and third years, which I currently am in now, I've actually been part of engineering design projects. In these projects, you work with people from the industry and then work on real life problems to actually design a solution. That actually, you get an introduction to it in your first year where you work with Engineers Without Borders. Here, they give you a problem in a third world country and you have to develop a solution for it. And further on from that, you can actually, there are courses where you can actually work in the industry as part of your course and get some credits for that as well.
Wonderful, thank you. Pamela, do you want to talk about industry experience as part of your course and the different opportunities you've had?
Yes, so I was so blessed that I was able to have a year-long of experience internship at RMIT Global Experience and as a marketing assistant because I'm studying marketing, and it's really, really great. I think everybody needs to have some sort of hands-on industry experience because it's different when you study and when you actually go into the field to be able to practice what you've learned. And you will also learn on the job as well. So I learned a lot of different things, a lot of different programs, and meet a lot of people. And I think that was really wonderful, very valuable experience.
Perfect. Paris, I might throw it over to you if that's okay. I know you're having trouble with your cats, so just I've got to bear that in mind. Can you speak about selection tasks into design programs and specifically into fashion, as well as where students can go to find the selection task information on our website?
Yeah, of course. So for a lot of our creative subjects like fashion, we recognise that an ATAR is probably not going to reflect your creative abilities. So for courses like fashion, we have selection tasks in place. So I would definitely, these will differ from course to course. So fashion will be different to art, for example. So definitely hop online. So if you do go to the Study With Us page on our website, and then you click on the program that you're interested in and scroll right to the bottom, and there will be a little tab that says additional requirements for entry, and it'll tell you in that section what prerequisites and what selection tasks you need to prepare for that certain course and all of that information there.
Wonderful, thank you. Samuel, I'm going to pass it back over to you. We've had a couple of questions asking, what does a typical day as a uni student look like? Do you want to talk about what it looks like in sort of first year compared to, I guess, a later year?
Yeah. The typical life of an engineer or a student in RMIT, I rock up to uni, go through lectures, go through tutorials and practicals. Personally, I try to have around one practical a day and to try and spread out my coursework. And also tutorials as well. The tutorials would generally connect really well to your practicals so that you can get a lot of theoretical foundations before you put them into real world applications. The lectures also are 2 hours long, same with the practicals. And these lectures will continue further on with the theoretical and kind of reach out into other aspects of the academic career.
Awesome, thank you. And what about for yourself, Pamela? So engineering is quite different to business. What does a typical day look like for you?
A typical day would be, I usually like to arrange my lectures and tutorials like back to back. So to be able to go, for example, from 10:30 to 11:30, I have a marketing lecture, and then if it's available, 11:30 to 12:30, I have a tutorial. So, and I usually try to put the classes at the end of the week because sometimes it gives you an extra time in the beginning of the week to do your assignments. And it's very fun because very close to a lot of different places to eat and to shop. I'm in the city campus, So it was really great, and be able to go on dancing classes during the lunchtime. It was pretty cool.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Can you just tell us a little bit about, sorry, to Paris. I saw, again, having problem with the cat, so I will just pass it to you. How did you go about applying for your applied program, as well as how did you find your placement? I guess what support did RMIT offer you?
Yeah. Sorry, everyone. Problems with cats over here, but I'm sure everyone can understand with working from home arrangements. So yeah, with my applied year, I was a bit worried about it, to be honest, because you have to start looking while you're still studying, and I was a bit concerned. But it was quite easy. We have a great resource at RMIT Career Hub, which you can go through, and all our partner organisations with RMIT that offer internships, that know RMIT students are looking for internships, they'll all be posted on Career Hub, and you can apply for all of those. Of course, you can go outside of that and apply for any at any agency or anything like that as well. But that's where I started anyway, and obviously RMIT's student recruitment assistant position was on there, and I applied for that. So that was my experience with the applied, with getting a position from that. I'm sure Elizabeth's might, Pamela's might be similar with her, as she was at RMIT as well. I'm not sure. Hers might be similar.
Yeah, let's pass it over to you, Pamela. Do you want to talk about how you applied for your internship?
So RMIT has a wonderful online portal called RMIT Career Hub. So it's basically a portal for RMIT students for many different job opportunities and volunteering and so on. So I found this internship opportunity on Career Hub while I was actually just browsing, looking for opportunities. And I think the reason why I was able to apply and actually get a job is because RMIT has also a facility called RMIT Job Shop. They actually help you to, polish your resume and, practice interviews. And I've had help from them. So I really give big credit to them. And also being able to start thinking about how you can get work experience from the beginning of your degree, not just leaving it until the end of the degree and then trying to, put together job experience at the end of it, because everybody will probably most likely to start from the beginning. So I think that was the most important thing. And I applied to Career Hub, yeah.
Thank you so much, Samuel. Do you want to talk about, are you a part of any clubs as part of your engineering program?
Yes, as part of the engineering program, you can actually join a club that is related directly to your engineering field. So there are clubs for mechanical engineers, aerospace engineers, electrical engineers, and we generally get together and just talk about our degree, talk about the courses that we're doing, the subjects that we're doing, and it's basically a networking area for engineers of your field at that point.
Perfect. Paris, I'm going to pass it over to you. Can you talk about some of the facilities available at the City campus? We've had particular questions about the snooze lounge.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that would be what I would be very interested about too if I was watching. So yeah, we have really, really great facilities. As a business student, I'm predominantly in Building 80, and that is where our snooze lounge is. So talk about that first. So that was one of those things that RMIT said to students, oh, what can we do better? And students came back and were like, yeah, we just want to have a nap in between classes. Like, we've got cool libraries and stuff, but we just want to be able to have a nap somewhere. So when you do have those giant gaps, if you do unfortunately have giant gaps, you can come in and you can just lock all your stuff away. So perfectly all safe and everything, and just have a nap for a couple of hours. So that's our snooze lounge. That's on in Building 80 on level 3. So you can go visit that when we are allowed back onto campus. But around campus, we have a heap of really, really cool facilities. So even now, as a third year student, I'm still finding little nooks and study nooks and little areas you can go. There's so many, huge library area where there's computers and everything you can use. But yeah, really great I find the most helpful probably is when you do have if you've got like a half hour before class or something and you need to finish something off for a class, you can just pop into a little study corner or something and just get it done, which is really great.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Paris. Samuel, I might pass it over to you. Can you talk a little bit about, I guess, the difference between year 12 compared to studying in an undergraduate degree and what you found the main differences to be?
Yeah, definitely. The main and outstanding differences was the class size. This happened especially only for the lectures though. Lectures can range to around 100 students. But as soon as you get into the tutorials aspect of it, the class size goes down to a more private 20 students, and the teacher is able to focus more on it. So the tutorials are actually quite similar to year 12, and laboratories as well. They are just a bit more practical aspect of it, which are also around 20 students. The main difference though is that all the education is self-learning. Well, not all, but like the teachers are very reliant on you to cover the topics afterwards yourself. You have to put some effort into it and try and understand and study the topics yourself as well. So you get a really good foundation of it. Teachers will give you assistance and they'll teach you the topics, but you do have to, you're reliant on yourself to kind of learn again and cover the topics once more.
Perfect. And what about Pamela, from your point of view, how does university differ from high school?
I think I agree. So at university, everything is so independent. So nobody is there to hold your hand and try and, you know, get your assignment done by this date, guys. It's a lot more like the workplace. It's you have to do what you can and be responsible, set your own deadlines, you know, time manage everything. And it's very, very individual. So it's like, it's up to you. So nobody's going to be there and say, you know, you have to do that. And also be able to work with a lot of people from diverse backgrounds and diverse demographics. It's a very important skill. So it's definitely a very different experience, but I'm sure you will love it.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Pamela. Well, that sort of concludes the session. The Q&A part of the session. I might pass it over to you, Paris, to wrap up the session. Just bear in mind that we do have the live chat team who are still on board answering questions. So they're trying to get to as many of you as possible. And we'll stay on for a little bit after the session while to try to get through as many as possible. But Paris, over to you.
Oh, nearly did the mute. Thank you very much, Daniel, for that. And thank you very much to our student speakers today. I'm sure for a lot of students who are about to come into university, your information would be really, really helpful. So thank you so much for all your insights there. But we will now be concluding this session. So if you do have any further questions, you can still pop them in. The team will be still replying to the questions we've had coming through. But you can hop on the Open Day platform and you'll be able to find a whole heap of information relevant to the courses you're thinking about or you're interested in, as well as we have a whole heap of webinars running over today and tomorrow, so definitely be sure to check those out so you don't miss out. But other than that, thank you so much for watching and enjoy the rest of Open Day.